If a green arrow turns into a solid green light, you A. may still turn, but you must yield to oncoming traffic. B. may no longer turn and must proceed straight. C. still have the right of way to turn. D. no longer have to turn in the direction that the arrow indicated. A. may still turn, but you must yield to oncoming traffic. If a green arrow turns into a solid green light, you may still turn in the direction that the arrow was pointing, but you must first yield to pedestrians and oncoming traffic. Traffic fatalities in work zones are most commonly the result of A. tire blowouts. B. hydroplaning due to water sprayed on the roadway. C. loss of steering control after driving over wet paint. D. carelessness and speeding. D. carelessness and speeding. Carelessness and speeding are the main causes of traffic-related fatalities in work zones. This sign shows one type of A. right turn. B. intersection. C. lane change. D. road curve. B. intersection. This sign indicates that AT intersection is ahead. The minimum drinking age in this state is age A. 10. B. 20. C. 21. D. 18. C. 21. The legal drinking age in Pennsylvania is 21.
Want to ace your DMV test? Click on the link below and get your guaranteed cheat sheet.
A steady green light at an intersection means that you A. must slow down and prepare to stop. B. must stop and check for oncoming traffic before proceeding. C. may drive through the intersection if the road is clear. D. may not turn right. C. may drive through the intersection if the road is clear. A steady green light means you may drive through the intersection if the road is clear. You may also turn right or left on a steady green light unless a sign prohibits the turn. When turning, you must yield to other vehicles and pedestrians within the intersection. Your blind spot is the area of the road. A. you cannot see without moving your head. B. directly behind your vehicle. C. you see in your rear view mirror. D. you see in your side mirror. If you need to slow down or stop when other drivers may not expect it, you should A. quickly tap your brake pedal a few times first. B. use your emergency brake. C. look over your shoulder for traffic in your blind spot. D. get ready to blow your horn. A. quickly tap your brake pedal a few times first. If you are going to brake where other drivers may not expect it, quickly tap your brake pedal 3 or 4 times. What is a no zone? A. a designated no passing zone. B. a one-way traffic area. C. the blind spot of a large vehicle. D. an area designated for motor vehicles. C. the blind spot of a large vehicle. No zones are the large blind spots around trucks and other large vehicles. Drivers of smaller vehicles should avoid lingering in no zones. You may drive around the gates at a railroad crossing. A. when the train has passed. B. under no circumstances. C. when the lights have stopped flashing. D. when other drivers drive around the gates. B. Under no circumstances. You are required to stop at all railroad crossings when signals warn of an approaching train. These signals may include flashing red lights, a lowered crossing gate, a flagger signaling, or a train's audible signal of warning. Do not attempt to go around a lowered gate. You should honk your horn when you A. Are traveling through an intersection. B. Are passing a bicyclist. C. See a child who is about to run into the street. D. Are parallel parking. C. See a child who is about to run into the street. Your horn should be used as a warning in situations where you think another driver or a pedestrian does not see you. For example, if a child begins to run into the street in front of your vehicle, you should sound your horn. You must use your headlights when other vehicles are not visible from. Fill in the blank. Feet away. A. 1,000. B. 1,500. C. 1,800. D. 1,200. A. 1,000. State law requires you to use your headlights anytime you cannot see pedestrians or other vehicles on the highway for a distance of 1,000 feet ahead of your vehicle. If a police officer requires you to take a blood, breath, or urine test, you A. May choose which test you prefer. B. Must sign a consent form. C. May refuse if underage. D. Must take the test or your license will be suspended. D. Must take the test or your license will be suspended. If the police arrest you for driving while under the influence of alcohol or drugs and you refuse to take one or more chemical tests of breath, blood, or urine, your driving privilege will be automatically suspended for 1 year. This suspension will remain in place even if you are found not guilty of driving under the influence. From top to bottom, the following is the proper order for traffic lights. A. Red, yellow, green. B. Red, green, yellow. C. Green, red, yellow. D. Green, yellow, red. A. Red, yellow, green. On a traffic signal arranged vertically, red is always on top and green on the bottom. When arranged horizontally, red is always on the left and green on the right. From the center lane, which maneuvers can you perform? A. You may make left turns. B. You may make U-turns. C. You may pass slow-moving traffic. D. All of the above. A. You may make left turns. This sign indicates where a lane is reserved for the exclusive use of left-turning vehicles from either direction. Such a lane may not be used for passing or for through traffic. As alcohol builds up in your blood, it A. slows down your reactions. B. makes you feel less confident. C. begins to metabolize itself more quickly. D. decreases the number of driving errors. A. slows down your reactions. As alcohol builds up in your system, it will slow your reactions, make you feel more confident, and cause you to make more errors. Lanes of traffic moving in opposite directions are divided by. Fill in the blank. Lines. A. White. B. Red. C. Black. D. Yellow. D. Yellow. Yellow lines are used to divide traffic moving in opposite directions. Lanes of traffic moving in the same direction are divided by fill in the blank lines. A. Yellow. B. White. C. Red. D. Black. B. White. Solid white lines are used to separate lanes traveling in the same direction as well as to mark the right edge of the road. Broken white lines separate lanes traveling in the same direction and may be crossed to pass. Yellow lines separate lanes of traffic moving in opposite directions. While backing, you should A. Rely only on your mirrors. B. Flash your lights. C. Open your door to see if it is safe to proceed. D. Turn your head and look through the rear window. D. Turn your head and look through the rear window. When intending to back up, always check behind your vehicle before getting in. Children and small objects are difficult to see from the driver's seat. While backing, turn your head so you can see through the rear window. Do not depend only on your mirrors or sensors.